Welcome back, everybody, to the show. I am super happy on this one. I canceled on them once, and I made sure today, no matter what, that I was having this. Thrilled to have with us both of the co-founders right here, Zheng and Jake Clare from EventShark. Right. Oh, dude, sweet swag. How do I get, dude, how do I get some of that? Straight up. Good for, damn, I mean, to put my name in the hat for that. But I am super excited.
All you gotta do is you just gotta text me your address.
Dude,
we actually have a new batch coming.
That text is rolling out. But I'm super happy to have you guys. Dude, throughout my opening sucks, so thank you for spicing it up for me. But seriously, you guys are like, I go to LinkedIn and I look and I say, okay, man, what's trending and what's out there and what's going on? I will tell you right now, for those anybody listening, let's get this out of the way. The Hey There Delilah song that I think you guys shot in what? San Fran was that shot in? Dude, that is fire. Put that on Spotify. I'll play it. It was awesome, dude. Loved it. It was hilarious, and B, I just love the song anyway. So I was like, good for you guys. But let's kind of dive in, man. You guys do super cool videos. You do some, what I would call like edutainment is the kind of the cool thing out there, right? Where you make us laugh, but also educate us. Like, what's happening in the space right now? Like, what's going on in the video space? But that's all I hear about is this video is taking over. You better get, in on this train or you're left behind. Like, what have you guys seen, and like, where do you think it's going?
Yeah, so there's a couple of pieces there that kind of feed into the meta of video for B2B, we'll call it, right? I think the obvious elephant in the room is that traditional channels, cold calling, email, connection rates have dropped, open rates have dropped. I still think they're great channels. This is not me saying, hey, all you sales reps out there, stop doing sales and go make videos. That's not the case at all. But when one door becomes the gap becomes more narrow, you open up a new door. And this is video and B2B. Everyone always says, right, B2B marketing, B2B tactics are a few years behind the mainstream B2C side, right? And what have we seen on the B2C side over the past several years is the rise of influencers, right? The rise of content creation that's at the commercial or brand level, that's a little bit more involved, right? I think Marc Jacobs just did a great campaign recently with, I don't know if you've seen the lady that's going around TikTok making food from scratch, right?
I've seen her. She's great.
She's like making Coca-Cola from scratch, and she's literally, grinding the spices and carbonating the water herself and doing all of that. So Marc Jacobs, they just dropped a new carry-all bag. So they collaborated with this lady, and it's content that is informed by the product, informed by the marketing purpose, but is created for the purpose of being good to watch. So we're coming from a meta of B2B content where, all right, it's here's just all talking head. It's all value or best practices, and we'll call it visually more stale, right? You could use the fanciest camera, shoot something in 16K, but if the origin material is not interesting, you're just gonna get a higher fidelity video that people still aren't gonna watch. So we're seeing the increase in creators that are more aligned with the space, that are doing something entertaining, but also having the relevant context for B2B specifically.
I think you nailed it perfectly.
So help me out here then. If you guys were both AEs, right, and you have some great, sales experience, and you have all that, which I think obviously helps you in terms of relating and, understanding what to do here. If I'm an AE, if I'm a young AE listening to this, how do I personally use video to help me? Like, what would you, if you go back in time, or you're an AE right now, how would you do it?
And actually, when I was at Demand Base as an SDR and then account director there, I was able to put myself on the map at that company by making videos. It's a great way to, boost yourself throughout the company, as well as become a friendly face to your accounts. I think be able to put yourself out there and create videos and is just a great way to stand out in today's age. And it's a way to get yourself more out there and involved. I was collaborating with the marketing team, even though I was on sales, because I always loved making videos, and that was actually able to skyrocket my career because I was able to stand out from the pack by doing videos. And it's just it's definitely a great way as an SDR or an AE to stand out internally, and then also, you know, create video content. I think there's like those prospecting tools as well that use video, but I would say like from an internal like internal perspective with the company, creating videos is such a game changer that, you know, companies want to invest in their own employees and building up those brands internally. So I think it's a very big opportunity for like homegrown content creators at the company to collaborate with the marketing team as a salesperson, because marketers, instead of spending a bunch of money looking for, you know, hiring content creators, you have these amazing group of creators in-house, SDR AE team that maybe are open to doing more video content, but just haven't had the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, this is a really big trend, Dave, that we're seeing is, you know, for all the AEs out there, all the ICs out there listening, right? I would think about video and video skills as just another tool in the arsenal for the modern seller. So, you know, you could write great copy, right? You can be a killer on a cold call, right? You could run great discovery, run a great demo, and then also understanding content marketing and what it being good looks like on video is just another tool in that arsenal, make them more holistic seller. And what I mean by that is, Jake made a really good point, right? Is companies don't necessarily want to go out and hire an influencer or pay content creators every single time they want to have content. And then the important thing about content, like these marketing organizations, we don't just want to do one campaign, right? We want to create an everlasting motion that's constantly generating new content and generating evergreen content. And the big challenge is you can hire the biggest creator, but they're not going to have the same context. They're not going to have the day-to-day conversations and understand the terminology, the landscape of the buyer, the buyer's day-to-day problems, right? No one's going to know that better than the frontline rep that's out there having conversations with buyers every single day. So that's the unfair advantage that all the AEs out there have, is that they're in the room, they're having the conversations with the personas. So they're going to know better than anyone in the company what type of messaging and what type of content is going to resonate with the ideal audience.
See, that's funny. You guys took it in a direction that I didn't even think of. I'm thinking of doing the Loom video. I'm thinking of shooting it from my camera, you know, on the phone, saying, "Hey, prospect, this is me. What's going on? I'm on my patio. I'm outside, right? You know, no one wants to see your office, right?" So, but you took it which is interesting to me. Hey, I don't need to go pay the influencers of the world, but man, I bet I have some really creative SDRs and AEs out there who want to do content on my own product, who are passionate about it and know about it. Now, the piece that you said, which is interesting to me, is you collaborate with marketing. What if I don't, like, maybe let me just take this a direction for a second. Are they the best people to collaborate with? Do they have the same, like, what if your marketing department, like, what if your marketing team isn't quite there? Am I good to go out and just shoot a video and post it on LinkedIn about my product? I mean, isn't that my brand-ish? But I'm talking about my own product. I mean, I'm crossing lines a little bit here, but you guys know what I'm saying here. Like, yeah. Is every marketing team going to be down with, you know, what messaging, what brand, and what? It would seem to me, if I'm them, and I'm being fair about this, I want to see what you're going to post first before it heads into our brand, right? There's a mixing here of, you know, my brand versus the company brand, it seems to me a little bit.
Yeah, that's the bit of, I think, additional nuance that's unique to B2B, that if people are just creating content, right, for a general audience, that's not necessarily a question they have to consider. So what I would say is that there's really two phases for this, right? Is you can think about it as 0 to 1, and you can think about it 1 to 10 and beyond, right? So at the individual level, I think there is some credence to the saying that, you know, if you're in sales, you're responsible for your own results, no matter what, right? And it's like, you know, the classic thing is you complain about your territory, complain about your accounts list, complain about the product and all that, right? Oh, I'm not getting enough leads. Well, guess what, right? If you start creating a brand on LinkedIn or within communities that your buyers live in, and you create content around that, you know, that's also like building doing your own prospecting and building your own pipeline as an AE, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that, back when I was Yelp's Chinese translator, I actually would create, so I'd take all of our marketing materials that we have for the different SaaS tools we were selling, and I'd create like a word for word Chinese translation for all of those. And then I'd go research different community and group chats of Chinese foreign national operators that were looking to open up franchises in the US, or groups of restaurant and hospitality group owners, right? And I'd throw these documents in there. Hey, this stuff exists on the market in the West, right? And I just, and this was not even public content, right? This is just group kind of what they call like dark social, right? Shout out Chris Walker. That type of content. I would build, my own massive inbound pipeline, just doing content like that. So that's the other thing I think about is content doesn't necessarily just mean social media posts or videos for social, right? In fact, traditionally in B2B, what is content? It's white papers, ebooks, guides, gated content, right? I think there's now, if marketing is pushing back saying, hey, we want to vet all of the stuff you're posting online, they might be able to control that, but they can't control what actions you're performing to develop your own pipeline to go into kind of, one surface level deeper, right? Not just necessarily top of funnel social.
That's interesting. Interesting to me. So I asked you guys the question, like, AE, SDR, let's take it up a notch. I'm a small business owner, 6 years in, 7 years in, I have 10 employees, maybe I got 2 reps. I'm not doing the sales anymore, a founder led. Maybe I'm more on product. Maybe I was never a really good marketing or sales professional. What would you tell them, right? Because a lot of people that you talk to says, you know what, and I'm a believer of this, but I'm interested in hearing you guys' thoughts of who it's right for and who it's not. Hiring a videographer, hiring somebody to capture the essence of the company and start doing content and, do this. I mean, what would you tell that young CEO, or not young CEO, but that, 6-7 year, CEO on like, hey, the content for your company of what we could do? How does that work for you guys? I mean, what does that look like for that, that young CEO?
The biggest everyone's going to be the meta of just creating content, like the founder-led strategy that you talked about. It's going to become more saturated over the next 5 years. So any company or business owner that can jump on this before it becomes everyone's doing this is going to have a huge advantage. It's like, posting on LinkedIn, 5 years ago, even posting on LinkedIn now is such a great tool for any business owner. And having a videographer that can come out there, like at least for EventShark, like if we're going to work with a company, like we can do 30 pieces of content in one afternoon, and that can be your whole quarter's worth of content if you're able to do it smart. So I think as like you want to create as much content as you can in one period. I mean, because videographers, maybe, I don't know if you have thoughts on like hiring videographers and what their advice would be for that.
Yeah, I would say that there's 2 sides of this coin, right? So thinking about where the actual opportunity is, founder-led content, founder branding is not new, right? Since you can go back to Julius Caesar, right? The war expeditions of Rome. That's founder brand right there. Oh, okay, we're gonna Genghis Khan. Okay, we're gonna give up because we heard about the brand of the Mongolian army. You guys are gonna slaughter us if we don't comply.
That's your history.
Right?
That's your history major.
That's my history major coming in. Right? So founder brand is nothing new. What's new is mainstream content consumption levels. Right? If we go back 10 years, right, when HubSpot's doing all the inbound marketing, get on our drip campaign, newsletter marketing, all that. The average executive is not on their phone scrolling to the same extent that they are now, right? And look, I was born in '96. I'm kind of I'm the youngest millennial, the oldest Gen Z, right? So I'm phone addicted, right? And as we move forward, more and more millennials are stepping into executive decision-making roles, right? So the buyers are changing now, right? And we look at the statistics on Gen Z and millennials, how frequently they pick up cold calls, right? Compared to previous generations. It's night and day, right? Like I don't know, most people around my age are not picking up the phones nowadays, right? So it's really thinking about it from a consumption standpoint. There's more algorithms, there's more platforms that are content engines than ever, right? And that, so that's the point of Line Shot. Now read the videography piece. I think it makes sense for executives and founders to not just think about a video partner from, you know, oh, they're going to help us film, they're going to edit our stuff, right? I think that's table stakes. What's more important is having a video vendor with the context to your industry that has an understanding of marketing strategy and viewer psychology, right? Because it doesn't really help a founder who's never done video before to hire a videography company. Boom, they come in, 3 cameras, lights, camera, action, and it looks beautiful. And then as soon as you start rolling, the founder's like, what am I supposed to say? What videos are we making, right? And that's the danger. I've talked to a lot of folks in the space that, you know, they'll hire X videography company off the street, and that, you know, great, you have like a Hollywood, you know, ex-Hollywood video producer, right? But the topic is, you know, there's no help there, right? So I think it's almost more important to choose a partner that understands B2B, understands the industry. The more verticalized your company is, the more important that's going to be, right? And to help you strategize the themes and the topic before a shoot ever even happens.
Do you ever run into, you know, the classic ROI conversation? Hey, man, this isn't getting the ROI, or, you know, you're not seeing tangible results, or, you know, do you run into that objection when people are, I mean, I look at your stuff and I go, it's memorable, right? I have, you know, I have a couple written down right here around the pipeline, and, you know, what you do with Avril Lavigne's song. Like, I just found it entirely memorable. But I was wondering, as I was, you know, thinking through today, I was like, I wonder, like, the objections that you guys get. Yeah, it's memorable. That's great. But is it really going to drive revenue for me? Like, what would you say to that if I'm the CEO and you're meeting with me and I'm on the fence here? Like, what's that? Yeah, what's your dialogue on that?
It really comes with, I mean, you need to work it with a sales motion. The best content is air cover for your sales team, and attribution for video is still not where it should be. Like you had a great experience watching some of our music videos. Like, there's no attribution for us to know this unless you're telling us right now on a podcast, right? And we had this experience. So, like, a lot of people are having this experience with video, but the attribution tools have not caught up with it. So it's really hard to measure what the actual ROI of videos is, because the technology is not that advanced yet. There's a lot of like new marketing attribution tools that are coming out that are trying to solve this problem, but it's not a problem that is actively solved. So it's almost like, in some sense, a leap of faith with video, but knowing that, hey, this is something that's working. And if you're using it with air cover on sales team that are actively going after opportunities that you are serving content to, that's going to be a way to kind of measure that and see some success.
Yeah. And Dave, you know, I think there's this very big misconception about the role of video as it pertains to a go-to-market motion, right? Most people think that we're going to do video, it's all going to be distributed on social, and what we can expect from it is net new opportunities, right? That's a very limited view of what video can do to pipeline or revenue. In our experience, we've actually found that video has a more directly measurable impact on accelerating existing deals, on reviving stalled or closed opportunities. And the reason for that is video isn't just, here's a video that we've created for social, here's something entertaining that's talking about our brand, right? Video also includes customer testimonials, case studies, deep dives, resources for customers, and then a very important piece that I don't hear a lot of people talking about is post-sale content, right? For onboarding, for adoption and training resources. That's a, you know, especially for B2B, often a more powerful and directly impactful way to use video than here's the explainer or an ad for the top of funnel.
Also save your CSM team, you know, a 30-minute demo. You just have good video content that's available.
Yeah.
I would also say, if you look at, yeah, go for it.
No, you hit it. I mean, I didn't even, the piece I saw you guys do was that, I'm going to come back to it, but your CSM piece was right. I didn't even think about that. Hey, what can I do? Everybody thinks top of funnel, right? And that's where my history is, so right, that's where my mind goes. But I didn't think of in the process, I already know it, I'm going to push it across the line with this, or post demo. Like I'm classic, I'm classic AE guy, sales director. Hey, all right, CSM, congrats, man. Here you go. Right. I didn't even think that piece, but that's a good part. The testimonial thing, I think you guys said in terms of events, when you have your clients or your current clients out there doing that, like on the street interview, chopping that up and getting those real life, you know, passion, if you will, or just gut reaction in terms of the product. I think that's where you're going with this, right? And now I can use that, in terms of, like, we all have the G2 testimonials. We see them all out there, and great. I can pull anything I want. A video testimonial that's 30 seconds probably is 100 times more impactful, right? And I think that's something that we think video, and it's produced and it's to music and it's cool and there's drones and all kinds of crap, right? But the 30-second of your client talking, man, that would be powerful to me. And you guys mentioned that, and I wanted to bring that up today. So good. In terms of future, okay, so LinkedIn now I think has the feed, right, where you can get more videos up. I think that's, I think they're experimenting with, like I know, like I get lost. Oh, you guys, like I've taken TikTok off my phone because I go onto it and an hour and a half passes and I'm like, what the hell's just happened to time, right? But I'm waiting for LinkedIn to get that way, and it's not yet, right? It's not like I'm not, and maybe, the funny videos of the guy tossing the ping pong ball into the, into like the trick shot is more engaging to me. But is that where LinkedIn's going, to the point where like we are going to get? Is it going to? I mean, I remember LinkedIn from like a resume, right? Now we're at this. So what's 6 years from now? Is it 80% video and 20% long form text? I mean, is that where we're going?
It's kind of hard to say with LinkedIn, because I mean, with any of these platforms, right, is like you look at a Twitter or any of the meta stuff like Facebook, Instagram, and whatnot. The monetization for those platforms is predominantly ad product, right? Ad sales. Mm-hmm. LinkedIn's a little bit different in that, like, most of the revenue comes from recruiting solutions and Sales Navigator, right? So and jury's still out on whether the LinkedIn ads, influencer ads, and all that stuff, like where the ROI is for companies, right? It spins a bit wobbly. So, I think Microsoft ideally probably, is building up the content meta on LinkedIn so they can increase advertising revenue. Now, we look at the past couple of years, like where everything's trending is, around 2017, 2018, videos were doing well. This is when, like, guys like Morgan Ingram and whatnot, like a lot of the big names that we know today started out, right? I was active on LinkedIn around then, but treating it like a resume and a job board, right? Around 2020 is when you have the first kind of big creator wave go on, right? And that's when LinkedIn were really doling out, favorable algorithm boosts to most creators, right? People are writing fluffy text posts, getting 20, 30,000 views per post, right? And, a lot of those folks aren't around anymore, right? But that was a big wave of I think we'll call it like escape velocity of B2B people, business people, realizing, oh, there's a world of content out here. It's a valid thing that has a positive impact on the bottom line to create content on B2B. Now, the challenge of content in the future on B2B is there may not be as clean of an alignment on incentives and expectations for a business platform versus a purely social or purely content platform. On Instagram, if you go viral and you have a big account on Instagram, you get clout, and that's cool because young people like to be famous and have internet clout. On LinkedIn, the success metric is a little less clear, right? Because there's really two things you could benefit from. One is for specifically from a sales or anything under that umbrella, right? So, like, it's your recruiters, your financial advisors, your real estate guys, and then your B2B salespeople on LinkedIn. It's like, okay, well, we want to create content because it could lead to sales opportunities and deals for us so we can make commission. That's one piece. And the other piece is professional brand. We want to create content on LinkedIn so we can increase our credibility and authority in the space, which will lead to career opportunities, progression, and growth, right? But those two incentives, they're not specifically aligned to, we just want to make the best content possible so we can grow a bigger profile and get more clout, right? Everywhere else, YouTube, right? They get paid on views, right? Oh, we want to create the best videos possible so we can get subscribers and we can get viral videos so we can get paid via AdSense. That incentive alignment isn't as clear on LinkedIn as it is on more traditional platforms out there, right? So that's where kind of the exploration and evolution towards the future meta is going to come from. Now, tying that back in to LinkedIn dropping the video feed and all of this stuff, I think we're having a movement right now where both individual creators and companies are increasingly recognizing the importance of content, the importance of social media, right, as it pertains to revenue generation. But it's a little unclear on the platform side, right? Because on one hand, you have LinkedIn dropping these features. Here's the video feed. We just changed the algorithm. Now your polls and your selfie pictures, that reaches down, video reaches back up, right? But what does that look like? How does LinkedIn benefit from that, right? Ostensibly, we think they want to do that because they want to sell more ads. But at the same time, if you look at any other platform, you have the partner program at YouTube, the creator program over at Instagram, right? The Twitter fund that Elon's doing, monetizing Twitter creators, right? I think there needs to be that in place on a LinkedIn to really unlock the full potential. Because right now, every creator, like ourselves included, right? It's, we have to monetize ourselves. We have a services company, right? That works with B2B companies. So we can create content. We can spend a bunch of our own budget to create high production value, entertaining videos, because that's good marketing for us. But the average, solo creator, they're not going to have that incentive alignment in place. So I think LinkedIn needs to, have more strategic programming around their creator accelerator and creator outreach programs.
It's interesting.
So that's a very long-winded answer. But
no, you're good, man. That's why, I'm old enough gray hair, and to remember when LinkedIn was like, if you were caught on LinkedIn at work, you were looking for a job. That's what you were doing. You were looking for a job. You were you couldn't look at LinkedIn at work. You had to go at home to look at LinkedIn because you either post your resume or you're hitting someone off who has a job, right? And it's changed, obviously, leaps and bounds, and it's only going to keep going. And I'm a fan of it, but I'm always curious what people think. That you guys who are in the know. Let's talk you guys here real quick. You've been together a bit. You come from both sales backgrounds, and you bring different things to the table. What's in store for you guys in the next couple of years? Where do you want to go as a team, as a company? What do you guys want to do?
I'll let Jake answer this one.
It's
at the root of it,
right here, man.
At the root of it, it's making the best B2B content possible. And Ding actually had a post about this on Friday. It was, how can we keep investing in our own videos and our own content to keep producing higher quality B2B content for EventShark as well as our clients?
Yeah, I think Mr. Beast has a really good quote, right? It's you can obsess over a million different things, but most of the goals that you're going to want in life can be solved if you just do better work, right? So for us, that's making better content, producing better videos, right? And whether that's entertainment videos for our brand as EventShark, as the sales rapper, as B2B Jake, for the audience, or that's creating increasingly better videos for our customers, right? That's long term. That's the only really North Star metric that we have, is we want to just create better work and keep improving, keep learning, right? But more short, medium term is, I think we're positioned pretty well in terms of the evolution of B2B go to market. To your earlier point, Dave, in terms of how we we talk about objections to doing videos and whatnot. It's very interesting because in a lot of ways we don't have an interest in doing that. Anyone that we talk to, they're going to have a better idea of their business than we ever will, right? So if they think video is not going to work for them, great. Like, we don't need to have that conversation, because there's plenty more people, and that number is only increasing by the day, that understand that video is a 24-hour sales rep for them, right? Video is serving the 99% of the market that aren't in active evaluation of vendors, right? It's educating people who are currently unaware of the business problem that they might have. So that's only going to increase in the future. So I'm not interested in talking to anyone that is skeptical about video, because there's so many people that get it now, right? So we want to work with those folks and just keep leveling up and blow this thing out of the water, man.
Man, I love it, man. That's, I think that's it, right? I mean, the cool thing about you guys is you're nimble, you're small, you get to pick who you work with, right? And from all the people I talk to on here, and I love talking to small business owners and entrepreneurs and such, because I've always said it and I'll say it again, you guys have guts beyond what you give yourself credit for, because I think you could have had great sales careers and been whatever titles you want, and you said, hey, screw it, man, we're going off on our own, design our own logo and do our own videos and put ourselves out there. And I think it's anybody I talk to with that sort of passion and that sort of just guts, it's the best way I can describe it. Good for you. Whatever happens, but I'm sure you guys are going to be successful. All right. At the end of each of these, I always have a little bit of fun, because, it's just boring talking work all the time. So it's like, let's talk a little bit out there. So Ding, I saw you play some ball, man. Are you a baller? Are you running like some hoops, man, like every week, or like?
Man, I hoop a little bit. Jake and actually,
like the Jordans, or what?
Man, we like to play. We play almost every week now. We got a group of guys here in Austin. I think it's just it's fun, it's healthy, it's good good networking too. We met a lot of people just playing basketball, right? And you kind of sleep on that, but I think when you're out and about, you're active, you're breaking a sweat and having fun and competing. You can't ask for much more than that.
The competition part is fun. I think that's we play every week, as Ding mentioned, with a lot of other like entrepreneurial sales folks out in Austin, and we're competing every week. You're trying to win.
We need video of that. I want video of that on the LinkedIn. Like, one of you guys, like, someone get some video of that stuff. And you guys on the same team, or you would get up, like, we're shooting foul shots and picking like.
Oh, we do both.
Or like what?
We play together. We also play against each other.
Oh, I don't like going up against Ding in the box.
Yeah, so I'm not very athletically gifted. I don't have cardio, and I can't jump very high, but I lift a lot of weights. So my player composition: Zebo, Zach Randolph, Glenn Big Baby Davis.
I feel like you got the NBA,
the round of rebound, baby.
We're gonna have like an NBA 2K build of you. Right, I'm just like all muscle, right? That's what we need. I need an NBA 2K build of you when that comes out. By the way, that's my favorite go-to game. By the way,
that's it. That's the 5'10" center power forward.
This 5'10" center powered forward is classic.
Yeah.
Look,
it's funny because you're. Go ahead. Anyone out there watching the video right now think that Jake and I are the same height? Jake is barefoot, and I'm wearing these right there. So I'm actually catfishing my height on here for all the NBA scouts that are watching this podcast.
That's it. Look, I can tell you guys have fun. I can tell you guys like each other, which is always important, right? And just the stuff I've seen is cool, right? And it's neat to see you guys go after it. I think you're well positioned, and I think everybody that I talk to, man, speaks highly of you guys. Right. That's why, thanks for being on with me. Right. This is awesome. Now, look, I'm going to ask a favor, and I'm sorry, but you know what I'm going to ask, right, man? Could you freestyle before you get off this? Right. Is there any way you can bust a rhyme on this? Like it all?
Let's do this. Get some hoops. So Dave, I got and ask of you as well. So
Oh
for
God.
all the viewers out there that think that I'm writing up a rap and I'm cheating on the freestyle, I want to make sure that the viewers know that it's live. So Dave, I'm going to challenge you. Throw some words in the Zoom chat for me, and I'm going to incorporate them in a live freestyle.
Throw some words in the Zoom chat for you. Holy crap. I don't know why my eyes are watering right now. It's a bad time for that. Hold on.
My audio's not working. You know, Zoom got me hurting. And this is live. I wasn't rehearsing. Yeah. And I'm out here just reciting my raps, and we on podcast light in the back. Yeah. And you know that I thought I was gonna say wax, but it's facts that I drop on his wax, and I'm hot in what I say. Yeah, you're gonna lose by the third rep. I'm in the Olympics like I'm the bird's nest. A bird's nest look like my hairstyle. You know, when I freestyle, it's very wild. Yeah, and I be closing all the whales. Moby Dick, I coming with the sales and what I'm doing. And I'm a boss, and I just had to go to school up in Boston, but these days I'm in Texas, I'm in Austin. Yeah, and you know it's caution because we got an event and I gotta represent. It's like camping, it's very intense. And the road's getting paved. Me and Jake on a podcast with Dave.
Yo. Well done, man. Dude, I put you on the spot and go, hey, here's our random words. Go ahead. Dude, good for you, man. Good for you guys. No, look, seriously, you guys are living your life down there in Austin. You're having fun. You guys are awesome. I hope to stay connected with you. I'm texting you right now. I'm putting my address in there. I want a sweet hat that I can wear on some videos for myself, right? And you guys let me know anything I can do for you guys, but I still appreciate you guys coming on, and it's been really, really fun hanging out with you guys, man.
Likewise, man. I've been following you on LinkedIn and just seeing your content for a while now. So it's great to put a face and a voice in the name. Like you're just as cool on this show as you are in your
I'm
content.
not cool.
So.
My kids don't think I'm cool. Do they hear you rap? Dude, you're cool. I'm not the guy. Trust me, man. Trust me, I'm not the guy. But look, everybody out there, I don't know why the hell I'm tearing up. The whole eye injury here with the whole glasses on, but thank you for listening. You come back, follow these guys, especially Jake. Get Jake out there. Get Jake some follows. I know he's out there, right? Get him some love. Go follow Ding. I'll catch you guys later. Be good.